Welcome to the Your Wedding Unlimited podcast, a space where we break free from tradition, creating a wedding day totally authentic to you and your love story. I'm Abby, UK wedding planner and owner of Elegance Unlimited, here to help you plan a wedding day that feels uniquely yours. Join me for planning tips and advice, endless inspiration, and a pocket full of calm within the chaos that is wedding planning. Consider me a trusted friend, here to walk you through it all. From injecting fun splashes of personality into your day, to reinventing tradition completely, all whilst focused on building a day bespoke to your dreams and desires. I cannot wait to get started, so let's get planning. Hello, thank you so much for joining me for another episode of the Your Wedding Unlimited podcast. If you're new here and you don't know who I am, my name is Abby. I am a wedding planner here in the UK, and this is my podcast. All about weddings, all about making your day personal, making, all of those bespoke little details kind of shine through. And each week we talk about something new, a different bit of inspiration, some new tips, a different bit of insight, a different side of the story, all the things. And we're still fairly new. So if you are just joining us, there is still time for you to go and catch up on everything and join us, right back here in the present. Listen week by week. I'm not sure how you found me, but thank you so much for being here. And if you are a returning listener, losing track of my words there. If you are returning and you have listened before and you're coming back for more, then thank you so much. There are a few of you, and I see, there must be, because the listens are telling me everything I need to know. So thank you so much. Always super grateful. Today is episode 19, I believe. And today we're talking gift registries. We're talking gifts. We're talking that whole process, the uncomfortableness of it all, and the bit that's not really talked about as much. I feel like it's not something that's talked about super often in the wedding space. And yeah, this episode was a little request, so I thought, let's do it. I've done a little bit of research, put a little bit of my insight in there into giving you some tips and some inspo. So yeah, shall we get straight on into it? I think I'm getting very good at not rambling at the start of episodes, by the way. It was always such a big fear of mine. Like, are people just going to switch off before we've even got into the good stuff, But I think I'm keeping it quite concise. Very proud of myself. Tangents later on in the episode, they are going to happen regardless. I can't do anything about that. Sorry. I like to chat. But yeah, we're doing all right. We're doing all right. So today we are talking about gift registries. So I think the first question I had, or the first point I was noting down when I was planning this episode, was, why is asking for gifts so awkward? Why is it so uncomfortable? Why does it make us feel like, oh, I don't like this? And that's not the case for everyone. I know there are some people out there that have no issue with it, and they're like, this is just what you do. This is fine. I have no problem with saying exactly what I want, and here's the list, and this is what we're asking for. For a lot of people, myself included, it's not always super comfortable. There's that like, oh no, please, you don't have to buy us anything, even if you do really want to ask for some things, right? And I think there's a certain part of you that feels like, oh, I should just be grateful for anything. I shouldn't be giving out a list, and I shouldn't be saying we want this, and this, because I should just be so grateful that people are wanting to buy stuff for us, that we should just take whatever we get given, right? And then you do run the risk of then getting given like 3 toasters that you can't use. If you're going by traditional kind of what people give as gifts for weddings, you run the risk of even you might already have a toaster. You don't even need one more. If one person buys you a toaster and it's sat in the cupboard now because you're like, I didn't need a toaster and I have it now and I can't give it away because it's a wedding gift, or there's that like the perfect amount of time that you have to keep something for before it feels acceptable to get pass it along, to get rid of it, right? So it is just going to sit there taking up space in your cupboards because you feel bad giving it away. There's that kind of side of things, which I know I definitely struggle with. Like, it's the same for like birthdays and Christmas, right? If you get given something, and I'm always so grateful that somebody has taken the time out to give you a gift, but sometimes every now and again you're like, oh, probably not going to use that. Or, not really my thing. Or it's someone maybe you don't know very well and they've bought you this gift and you're like, interesting. Okay. And even if you have the best intentions to say, you know what, I'm actually really going to try and use this, if it's not natural instinct or if you don't need it and it doesn't fit into your life in the right way, you're probably not going to use it. And then you'll come across it in a year, 2 years, 3 years and go, oh my God, have I still got that? It's never been used. Into the charity box it goes, And you don't want that for your wedding process, right? You want things that you're actually going to be able to make use out of, that actually feel like a really nice wedding gift. I think there's the whole level of wanting something nice and sentimental with a wedding gift, because it's an extra layer to that special day, right? It's an extra layer to the process, that you want something meaningful. You don't just want things chucked at you, money chucked at you, gifts chucked at you without the sentimental meaning behind it. I know that's my perspective on it. I know that's kind of how I would look at it. So yeah, maybe other people feel the same. But yeah, today in this episode, we're just going to talk through a little bit of the process, how to navigate the process, how to feel a little bit more confident with it, how to just remove a little bit of the ickiness behind it, because there's no kind of two ways about it. It's that like, oh, I kind of want to ask for gifts without saying that I want to ask for gifts. And if people are offering gifts, we don't just want to take what they're, maybe you do, maybe it doesn't bother you at all. And you're just saying, yeah, please just get us whatever. We're not fussed. But if you are, and there's nothing wrong with that, then we're going to talk a bit about that today. So I hope it's helpful in advance. Now, if you don't know what a gift registry is, it is essentially a list of gift ideas or gift requests that the couple puts together before getting married that they then pass on to their wedding guests. It's essentially like, oh, okay, you'd like to get us a gift? That's great. Here are the things we're asking for. It's as simple as that. I did a little bit of history digging into this, just a little bit of I wonder where it came from. I'm really on my history looking into the traditions and where things originated from at the moment. When we did, what was the episode that started it? The white wedding dress, I think, was one I did a bit of a history deep dive into. And since then, I'm like, oh, I wonder when this tradition started, and I wonder where this came from, and oh, I wonder who started this, and how long's that been around? It's really got me thinking. So I did a little bit of a mini deep dive. Not really a deep dive. I did a bit of research, basic research, onto the history of the gift registry. And I was really interested to find that it only originated in the 1920s in America. Okay. Gifting at weddings was a thing beforehand, I'm pretty sure. But there was a department store in America in the 1920s that kind of kick-started this gift registry thing. So before then, it would just be your guests would buy you what they thought you needed or they thought you might like. So it would be traditional things like china and linens and silverware and things that you would be wanting or needing when you were moving in together for the first time. Traditionally, that's the way it was. We don't do that as often now, right? A lot of the time people are living together before marriage. They kind of have everything they need. They've got the toaster already, they've got the china, they've got the linens, they've got decorative items. So there are things that you think, well, actually, we don't need that. So in the 1920s, this department store was one of the first ones, or the first one. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not that, much of a history buff. They kind of started this gift registry concept where people could go around the department store essentially and put things on their list from that place. So you would pass that along and say, you can buy it from here, it costs this much, choose what you want to get. Here's a list. And you can get things now where they'll remove things from that list as soon as someone's purchased it, so that you're not double gifting things and you're not getting two of the same thing. Or it's very clever, really, isn't it? And it makes sense because it's solving that problem for people where before you'd be thinking, oh, another set of knives and forks, thank you so much. And then you just end up with so many. And real first world problems, isn't it? Come on. A gift's a gift at the end of the day. But when we're living in such a time of overconsumption and all these things, I know I find myself constantly going around the home being like, what can I get rid of? What can I clear space for? What can I, minimize and cut things down? And sometimes when you're getting given things that you feel like you can't get rid of, it's really tough because you're like, now what do I do with it? Do I just hold on to it? I'm not a regifter personally. I would never dream of it. I couldn't regift. I've heard too many stories of people regifting and then the original gifters found out, or people have accidentally regifted back to the same person. It just makes me sick to my stomach. I couldn't even bear the thought of it. I will always, if there's something I don't use, intentionally or unintentionally, it does tend to stick around the house for a good 6 to 12 plus months. And then I'll be like, oh, I really haven't used it. Time for it to move on. Time for it to find a new owner that hopefully will use it. So this whole concept was designed to simplify the gift registry process and to solve those problems for people where they were thinking, I want to be in control of what we're taking on, of what we're getting out of this process, you know? So that's where it started. But as with anything, there is an evolution that's happened here and it's become modernized. We've got our modern day equivalent. We've had that tradition and that concept and that etiquette has been adjusted and changed, and it's grown with society. It's grown with our needs and our wants and, you know, how we're doing things. And it's not necessarily that same concept anymore. There definitely are still places that do that. You can come around our store and put together a list of things. I know there are department stores out there or specific shops. I think there's more like a wedding shop specifically where you can go around and ask for specific things, which I think is really lovely. So it's definitely still something that you can do if you choose to, but it's not for everyone. As with anything, it's not going to serve the entire population, which is why we have variations of things, which is why we have different ways of doing things. And like I've mentioned already, lots of people have everything they need, right? You might be living together already. So you don't maybe think, oh, actually, we don't want to do a gift list. We don't want loads of homey things because we actually have everything we need. Or maybe you're really particular about the things you do use and that you do like, and you don't want anyone just buying you things that you don't need. Maybe the things that you do choose to buy for yourself are really expensive and you're thinking, I can't ask my guests to buy me this just because that's my specific taste. Maybe that's not for you. If it's for you and you want to do the standard gift registry, fantastic, go for it. But there are other options. And I think it's worth mentioning that your guests will likely want to get you something. A lot of your guests will, not all of them, but most guests will want to get you something. It's that kind of part of going to a wedding, isn't it? And they will, even if you say, no, thanks, we're not doing anything, a lot of people are just going to get you something anyway. So this does allow you to have a bit more control over that process. And if you don't want to do the gift list, you can do something else. And the point of it is just that you're making it clear. You're saying, this is what we're asking for. This is how we're doing the process. If you want to get us something, this is how it's going to go down, right? So you won't always see standard gift registries today. You might see people asking for money for their honeymoon, so like a honeymoon fund, or just money in general to start married life. Maybe they're wanting to start a family and they're saying this is going to, you know, we're going to put this towards the nursery for the baby that we're trying for, or whatever it might be. Some people do that. Some people ask for experiences. So you could be saying, you know, we want to have like a year full of dates. So could you, you know, either pull some money together for us to put into our date fund, or, you know, we'd like here's a list of things that we'd like to try in our first year of being married, and you're asking for like a wine tasting or a pizza making night or go-karting, I don't know. And those are different things that you're kind of collecting, and it's encouraging you to then go and use those in the first year, which I really like that idea, by the way. And I think there's lots of different things where you can cater to different budgets as well. So some people want to spend more on you or be able to spend more on you than others will. So you can put something in there and say, this one costs £20, this one costs £50, this one costs £80. And people can choose then what they want and feel comfortable with choosing for you. That's one thing I would always say, whether you're doing any kind of list or you're doing anything, you need to have options for everyone in there, right? There needs to be something that caters to people that want to contribute £20, and people that maybe want to contribute more, there's an option for them as well. But not, you're not putting everything on the list that's like £100 plus because people are then going to be upset. Yeah, just a little side note there. Other people, you know, some people don't want anything. Like if you genuinely don't want anything and you'll be saying, we'd really, it's not for us. We would just like you to donate to a charity of our choice. Maybe it's, you know, the Dogs Trust, or maybe it's Mind, or whatever charity is like close to your heart. Maybe you are, you know, there's so many like cancer charities. If you're a survivor, if it's close to your personal life and your family and you want money to go towards that, maybe it's like a local school that you want to donate to, or something that you think, we don't need anything and we don't want anything, but if you are really wanting to contribute in some way and you're wanting to offer something, this is where we'd like that money to go. And you would just be putting that on your wedding website, on your invitations, in a nice kind of subtle way. You don't want to be, if you know, particularly if you're doing like a gift registry and you're asking for things, you're not being like, here's the list to our gift registry, go and find things and buy us money, buy us gifts, sorry. Like you don't want to do it in that kind of way. It wants to be a nice subtle thing that if people are looking for a way to offer you something, to give you something, there's just something it's easy for them to find, but it's not too in your face of like, buy us things, please buy us presents. It's like a nice, oh, It's just there. But yeah, so those are some other options. Like we said, experiences, honeymoon funds, offering to charity. Those are some alternatives if you're not wanting to do a specific gift list of we'd like this set of mugs please, and we'd like this vase, and we'd like this rug. If you're not wanting to do that process, there are options, different types of things. And it would not be the Your Wedding Unlimited podcast if I didn't give you some inspo on how to make it personal, how to break free from the norm, do something a bit different. So I've been doing a little bit of brainstorming, and I've done a little bit of research, and I've thought about the things that, couples have said to me when I've been working with them, and weddings I've been to. I've scoured my brain and the internet's brain for a few ideas to kind of get you thinking about what you could do that's a bit different. And honestly, I love these ideas. I love them. This is what weddings are all about for me. This is what the wedding planning process is all about. Any opportunity to make it personal. Anyone can go and say, "Yeah, yeah, we can, yeah, just, get us the toaster, get us the silver and fork set, get us these mugs." That's fine. Anyone can do that. But if you want to make it really personal and you're asking for things that feel like you, these could be some really good options. Plus, people really love to gift things with meaning. People love gifting things that are sentimental, that, are going to get that reaction out of you that's like, "Oh my God, that's amazing." And it's not just like, "Oh, thank you so much." People want the big impact, right? We're big fans of that. We love the feeling, we love the emotions. So, if you are wanting to do something a bit different, or you're thinking, "Oh, I guess we want to ask people for something, but we don't really know how to do it in a way that feels like us. We don't just want to hop on that train of asking for anything and everything and it not really feeling like," it feels more icky when it's not suited to you, right? It feels more uncomfortable when it's not something that you feel like you're going to super benefit from. So sit down, think about your personalities, think about your lifestyle, think about things that, are all about you. If you need to brainstorm it and mind map it out, please do it. I love me a bit of stationery and I love me a bit of mind mapping. So give that a go. Write down some things, write down some options. But you could be asking for things like bottles of wine. I've heard of this before. People have asked for bottles of wine as gifts from their guests. And they've said, this is going to be one for us to work through each anniversary. We're going to open a bottle of wine. And you've got a lifetime supply of anniversary wines for you to go through. Or even it's a first year, a date nights of wine. So you do one every month, or, whatever it is. That's a really nice idea. If you're big wine drinkers, or, you could be asking for wine tasting experiences, anything to do with wine, make it themed. People love a theme. People love a theme. So that's a really nice idea. Board games. I've heard this before. I can't remember where I heard it. If someone said it to me, or if I saw it on social media, or if it was when I was Googling it. I can't remember. But people have asked for they're big into board games. They have game nights and, board games are their thing. So they asked everyone for a board game. Either it's their favorite one or something really new and unique, something really different. What a cool idea. Then all of your gifts, it's something that you're actually going to use, right? Because you're big board game people. Game nights are your thing. You're always getting people over to do games and stuff. And then you get to work your way through, and you can keep them in a little cupboard or on a little shelf. Maybe you want them on display, or maybe you have them somewhere special that's these are our wedding games. These are the ones that we got from our wedding, and you keep them forever. Maybe you hand them down. Oh, maybe they become an heirloom. Who knows? But what a nice idea. Similarly, books. I've heard this before. I think was it a couple I was talking to the other day? I think it was. And they said that someone they knew had asked for books because they're big readers. So they'd asked everyone for their favorite book, and they put a little bookshelf together. Love that idea. And I think I've seen that a couple of times on floating around Instagram as well. Or people have done when CDs were still a thing, or vinyls. They've asked for something that is bespoke to them. It's to do with their personalities, right? They're big into music, or they're big into reading. Find a way to make it something that you're going to be excited about. Plants is another one, because I love a plant. And who doesn't love a little plant? Imagine getting a whole new collection of plants from people that you love, that you get to then nurture and grow into married life. Oh, I just love the symbolism of that. I really do. I love that. But if or maybe you're asking for a different type of seeds from everyone, because you're moving into a new place, or you're wanting to do up the garden, and you want everyone to have that input into your new garden that you're growing, or your indoor plants, or succulents, whatever your thing is. That's a really nice idea, and it's different, right? People don't expect it, but you're also making your guests' lives really easy by being this is what we want, and they're like, "Oh, thank God for that," because it's really tough for people to just guess. People hate guessing. I hate guessing. if you want something in particular, just tell me. Unless I have a really good idea and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to smash. They're going to love this gift. This is so good. This is going to get the feels. This is going to be a good one. But there's not everyone in my life that I have those big impact gift ideas for, right? It's tough. Maybe you're like big tea drinkers or coffee drinkers and you want to ask everyone for like a new mug, and you put together like a new little cabinet with all your wedding mugs in, and there's like a really nice collection of people that have bought you things that remind them of you. Or you just collect mugs and you want new mugs. Whatever it is, it could be anything, absolutely anything. I just think that's such a nice way of making your day personal, making it feel even more exciting, making it feel more memorable and symbolic and all of those things. I love those ideas. If you're really not wanting things that you take on into your home, that's extra things for you to kind of find space for and handle. Maybe you're asking everyone to buy a toy that you can go and donate to your local children's school, or a children's charity, and that's what you're asking for. And instead of charity donations, people then feel like they're giving something physical. I think there's a big thing sometimes with people wanting to give something real, something physical. They want to be able to hold it in their hands. And if you're saying to people, we just want money, it doesn't sit right with everyone. It's like, oh, okay. Like, I get it. If that's what you want, then that's fine. But it doesn't have that, like, oh, I hope you enjoyed your gift because I've just flung 30 quid into your account. Like, it's not the same vibe, is it, as somebody getting you something that's really sentimental and that has real meaning. So I do get it from that side of things. Guests do like to give something. My recommendation would be to spend a date night, spend one of your Wedmin nights sitting down, brainstorming. If you don't already know how you want that process to go and what you want to ask for, sit down and think about it. Maybe you really like doing puzzles together. I can't stop thinking of ideas now. Maybe you love doing puzzles together and you ask everyone for like a puzzle or like a personalized one or something. I don't know. Maybe you're big like whiskey drinkers and you're asking everyone for like different ones for you to try. Or maybe you're going on your honeymoon to like Disney and you're saying, can everyone just buy us a pair of like Disney ears for us to all take with us? So we've got like loads of different ones to wear and try on. Like, there's so many things you could do, so many options. I just think have fun with it, honestly. Then once you've decided what you're going to do, then we've got that awkward part again where we then have to ask for it and tell people what we're asking for, tell people what we want. Okay. And it doesn't always come easily. And you might be thinking, well, how do we do it? Where do we put it? How do we say that? Make it subtle, but make it obvious, which I know sounds contradictory and I know sounds like it makes no sense. But what you don't want is to be sending, like, I wouldn't put it on your save the dates, because that's like literally just a save the date. This is like who's getting married, the date, maybe where it's going to be. You don't need more on your save the date. Maybe on your invitations, if you're going for physical invitations, you could be having like, an information card in there that has a bit more information about parking and about dress code and about gifts. That's always quite a nice idea, rather than having it on the actual invitation that has like, we're getting married, this is the time, this is the date, please arrive by this time, this many people allowed, or please get your RSVPs back by this date. It's an idea that you can have a little information card in there, a little bit of extra thing that's not technically part of your invitation, but it comes along with it. It's a bit more wordy and it doesn't have to look quite as pretty, right? Because you don't want to be overpowering your stationery and your invitations with just loads of words and loads of information and FAQs. And I think this is why wedding websites can be a really good idea. So this is another option. Put it on your wedding website, have a QR code or something on the back of your invitations, or somewhere for people to find where they can just scan it. It takes them through to your wedding website, and you can have a whole frequently asked questions, an FAQ section on there that covers everything. And you can have a section about gifting that says something like, you want to word it in a way that makes you feel comfortable. So there are plenty of ways that you can do that. Oh, we're so grateful for you just attending. We're so grateful that you're wanting to be at our wedding. So we're not expecting any gifts. But if you really would like to get us something, this is what we're asking for, and then you could put a link to, this is where our gift registry is. If you're doing a typical list, you can put a link to that there, or another QR code or something. If you're asking for charity donations, you could say, we're just asking for charity donations to this place, and maybe there's a link to their donate page. If you're asking for physical things, maybe like the wine bottles or the board games or the plants, then you can say, this is what we're asking for, thought it would be fun. And you can just say, please bring it with you on the day or get it posted to us. Like, word it in a way that feels comfortable for you. And there are also plenty of places, if you're asking for a honeymoon fund or you're asking for, money to start married life, there are plenty of places that can handle that for you. So you don't just have to like put your bank details on there and be like, here's my account number, here's my sort code. Here you go. There are plenty of places now where they'll handle that for you and it feels a lot more like gifting. So you like get sent through to a web page and you can put in your name. If you want it to be anonymous, you can. Or you can put in your name, you can decide how much you want to send them, and you can put a little message with it that says, to Sarah and Joe, here's your wedding gift. Hope you enjoy it on your honeymoon, like a little nice message, right? And that for your guests feels nicer. It feels like they're gifting you something rather than here's 40 quid. So it's a different experience, and there are plenty of places that you can do that with. But like I say, wedding websites are always a really good idea. I like a wedding website, even if it's just a simple one-page thing that you're using for the wedding and it's gone afterwards. You don't need it after that. It can be made redundant, okay? But it's helpful for people now, particularly in the age we're living in, where everything is phone-based, technology-based. If people can scan a QR code or click a link and all the information is there for them, that can be really helpful. I will say, whether you're experiencing this yet or not, people are going to ignore that completely. People are going to be like, where can I find information about parking? Where can I find information about, what are you doing for gifts? What are you doing for this? And you'll be like, it's on the wedding website. And they'll be like, where's that? Where do I find that? And you will be having to just keep sending it out to people. People don't use their common sense a lot when it comes to weddings. You'd think that the whole point of sending out an invitation with all the information is that they'd keep it somewhere safe and then they go back to it and look at that first before coming to you. People don't always do that, unfortunately. People think, oh, first port of call, the couple. Let's just go straight to them. So that can't be helped, unfortunately. But what you can do is when people are finding it there, you can make it as clear as possible. And it's a really good place to put all of your information. So I recommend that, even if you're doing, or you could just do the classic, if you really like the stationery, make a really pretty information card that has information, like I said, about your parking, about when you need information back for food, what the dress code is, if you're doing black tie, or if you're doing please wear this color scheme, whatever vibe you're going for. If there's travel information, so here's where you can kind of find accommodation at these hotels, or if you need to book a taxi or something home, here's the number. You could do a nice information card with that, like a little thing that you get sent along with it. Some people just don't want to ruin or overtake, the vibe of their stationery and their invitations when they're doing that. So up to you, but there are options. So building your registry. Registry. Have I just called it a registry? I meant registry. Because I meant wedding registry, and my brain just completely shortened it then without me even thinking to. You could call it a registry. When you are building your wedding registry and you want to pull all those things together, there are a few ways you can do it. So, like I said, you can put it on your wedding website. You could just have a bit of information if you're asking for something physical, or you're asking for a charity donation or money or something like that. You could just list it there and have links to the places that you want them to go. So if it's a charity thing, like I said, send them a link, direct them to the right place and where they need to go. If you are wanting to build out like a standard typical registry with a gift list, there are plenty of websites that can help you to do that. So a quick Google will tell you everything you need to know. And I do recommend having a Google and, look at reviews for places, have a browse of the features. A lot of them will have like demos that you can just click through, or they'll send you a little video on like, this is how it works and this is the features we have. So it's all going to depend on what kind of features you're looking for, right? You've got places like Prozola, I think that's how you say it. The Wedding Shop, Joy, or With Joy, I think it's called. I've seen that one used before. The Knot is another one. People have used Amazon. If you've got an Amazon wish list, you could do that, and people can do registries on there, and you're kind of linking that over. The Wedding Present Company, I think, is another one. Have a Google and have a look through it, like, whatever country you're in, because these were like UK ones that I knew would suit the UK, but there'll be specific ones that are quite good for US based people, for anyone Australian based. There might be something specific for you, but have a Google, play around with some features. And a lot of wedding websites now, so there are wedding websites like Joy, which I know I've seen people use, or Hitched, where you can create your wedding website and it has all the features on there to help you with RSVPs and putting information on, and you can upload some pictures of you and it looks really cute. And then they will have a section where they can connect you to a gift registry or something on there. You can add it in. I don't know enough myself, having not needed to use them specifically, to know whether what the costs are or how, kind of good they are specifically. It's probably something I'd like to do a bit more research on, actually. But if anybody's used any or is using any and you think it's really good, please let us know, because I think that'd be really helpful for other people as well. Pop it in the comments of the video on Instagram, because I always post a clip, or come and hop in the Facebook group and let us know which ones are really good. YouTube or Spotify comments as well are really helpful. So if there's anything you're currently using that you're like, yeah, this is great, and I recommend this to other people, let us know, because I think that's going to be really helpful for other people. But yeah, a little bit of research. There's so much out there, like with anything, there's so many options. And I think it's really easy to then get stuck down that rabbit hole of like, oh, I need to research them all and find the perfect best one. I don't think that any of them are going to have everything you're looking for, right? With anything, I don't think it's going to have all the features you're looking for. A lot of the things, when I was doing a bit of research, some people were saying it's great and it's got everything I need, and other people were saying about the same place, like, oh, it was missing this, and I wanted to be able to do this, but it wouldn't let me. So it's totally up to you. My advice would be to just keep it simple. Wedding guests get confused very easily. I always say that wedding guests are like sheep. They need herding into the right place. They startle easily and they get confused very easily. Something happens to people on a wedding day where they're just like in the wedding zone and they're like, oh, how do I use my common sense? They forget. So even throughout that process, we just want to make it really simple for people. I think people expect there to be lots of rules. People expect there to be lots of things that they're afraid of doing wrong. So then common sense goes out the window and they feel like they need to ask a question for everything. So just assume that people don't know anything. Keep it simple. If you're doing a list, find something that's really simple to use, really obvious, where people can, use that if they want to, and just see how you get on. No pressure. Just, again, don't make it something that's going to stress you out. Enjoy the process. Be confident with it, when you're asking people for gifts, because I know it's not easy. But yeah, and if there's anything that you're really enjoying using, or that you've seen other people use, or you've gifted someone something through a wedding registry before, maybe a friend's wedding or a family member's wedding, and it really worked well and you thought the process was easy, let us know. Let us know, because that would be really, really helpful. My main kind of point for this episode, and something I really want to drill into you as we're kind of winding things up, is to not feel awkward. Don't feel awkward. Like I said, people want to buy you gifts or they want to contribute in some way. So make it easy for them. Give them something that's simple to use, and don't leave them guessing, because then you'll end up with things that you don't really want. And then you'll be like, oh, we should have just said that we didn't want anything. And also, it is perfectly okay to say, we don't want anything. Please, please don't buy us anything. Okay. And you can make that really clear in a really polite way and just say, please, we don't want anything at all. It's worth mentioning there will still be a few people that decide to ignore that and buy you something anyway. It's just the way things go. It's the way life goes. Some people will ignore you and be like, oh yeah, whatever. I've got an idea and I really want to give them this. And that's another point, actually. Some people will go off list regardless. So I wouldn't stress too much about putting too much time and effort into a registry and the ideas and all the things that you want to do, because some people are just going to be like, oh, actually, I had a really nice idea that I wanted to get for them. Or we were out the other day and they saw something and thought of you and thought it would be a really nice wedding gift, and they get that and it's not even on your list, or it's not, one of the board games that you'd asked for, or it's something completely off that. And there's always someone that wants to do that. And that's, I mean, again, we're grateful, right, for the gift. So there's nothing we can do about that. I don't think there's a problem with that. I think, it only becomes an issue if you've explicitly said, please no, I don't know, please no plates and cups, because we've got loads, and they're specifically then ignoring you and going, oh, well, I really liked these ones and thought you'd like them, so I bought them anyway. That I'd be like, bit rude, thank you, but we did ask not to have those. But if you're giving people, here's a suggested list of things you could get us, and they're getting something different, I don't really think there's anything you can do about that. You just have to be grateful and say thank you so much, because for them, it's coming from the heart, right? It's coming from somewhere that's meaningful, and they were thinking of you. And at the end of the day, a gift is a gift, and we have to be grateful for those, right? I think it's also worth mentioning that some people won't want to get you a gift. So this is why it's all just a suggestion, right? Or maybe they want to get you a gift, but they're struggling to contribute because being a wedding guest is expensive. Okay, maybe they've had to travel a bit. Maybe they've had to take a day off work. Maybe they had to pay for childcare. Maybe they had to buy something new. Maybe they're if they're wanting to buy drinks when they're there, like it costs a lot to be a guest. Taxi home, taxis these days, my goodness, so expensive. So it costs a lot to be a wedding guest. And maybe they're thinking, we really want to go and we really want to attend, but we can't afford anything else. Like a wedding gift is just out of our budget for this. And that's fine, right? The main thing is having the people there that you care about. The main thing is having your loved ones with you. You've invited them for a reason. So definitely worth bearing in mind that all of these are just suggestions. And if half your guests decide we don't want to get them anything, then that's okay. Just, yeah, that's their choice. It's their money. They get to choose how they spend it, right? But yeah, keep the process simple. Make it a note that says we don't expect anything, but if you would like to, yada, 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 here's all the information, and you should be fine. And if you have any other questions about the process, if you're struggling with anything, if there's anything else you want to know, or you just need a bit more insight, then please do feel free to reach out. But I hope this has been helpful. I hope that you found this to get you thinking about it a bit more. And it doesn't have to be the kind of standard gift registry. If that's not your thing, there are so many options. There's other things you could ask for. Yeah, so many options. I keep thinking of things in my brain. I'm like, oh, you could ask for this, or you could do this, or that you could make that really personal. I just think, have a think, talk about it together, decide what you're comfortable with, and the rest will fall into place. So I want to know, are you doing a gift registry? What kind of gift registry are you doing? What are you asking for? And has this episode helped you to plan that process? Has this episode helped you to start thinking about what you might want to ask for? Has it kind of reaffirmed that, yeah, we don't want to do one, or yeah, we absolutely do? I want to know. Let me know. You can let me know in our Facebook group if you're a part of that. If you're not, the link is in the show notes below. You can comment on Spotify or on YouTube. If you're watching this episode, you can watch it on YouTube. Don't know if you know that. I'm over there. Come and see me. But yeah, I want to know. I'm nosy. I say it every week. Come and let me know. Give me some of the goss. And it keeps me going until we come back for the next episode, to be honest with you. But I hope this has been helpful. Like I said, if there's anything else you want to know, then let me know. If you want to find me anywhere else, you want to come follow me on Instagram or join the Facebook group, or you need some help planning your wedding, then you can find all of the information in the show notes as well. Until next time, thank you so much for listening. I'll speak to you next week. Bye. Thank you for listening to the Your Wedding Unlimited podcast. I hope you're feeling inspired and excited to create your dream wedding day and those lasting memories. Don't forget to hit that follow or subscribe button so you never miss an episode. I'll be back next Wednesday with more tips, advice, and inspiration. In the meantime, don't be a stranger. Come and find me on Instagram and TikTok at Your Wedding Unlimited, where I share even more wedding ideas and behind-the-scenes insights. You can also watch these episodes on YouTube at Your Wedding Unlimited. And if you're looking for even more support, come and join my private Facebook group, Your Wedding Unlimited. It's an amazing community of fun and authentic engaged couples, packed with extra tips, advice, and insights to guide you along your journey. If you have any questions or need more info, you can DM me or send me an email at yourweddingunlimitedpodcast@gmail.com. All links and details will be in the show notes. Until next time, happy planning!